Here's a really juicy article that has been sitting in my to-do to make a video on Pivil, actually a Discord server where I keep things in different channels that I'm the only one on the server. But anyway, what Muslims really pray at interfaith gatherings. And it's written by somebody named Rachel Lipsky, or Rachel Lipsky. Sounds like a Jewish name to me. And, oh, or maybe it's this guy, Mark Dury. In his blog, theologian and scholar of Islam, Dr. Mark Dury states, "It is remarkable that the daily prayers of every Muslim, part of the core of Islam, include a rejection of Christians and Jews as misguided and objects of Allah's wrath. Devout Muslims repeat this Surat al-Fatiha, early in the Quran area, at least 17 times daily during the 5 calls to prayer, over 5,000 times a year." So, on August the 4th, this past summer, it was a Friday, this person, I'm not sure if it was Rachel Lipsky or Dr. Mark Dury, but either way, somebody attended a weekly Jummah, which is like, I think they're, equivalent to like your big Sunday service for a Christian or the Shabbos day service for a Jewish person. It's like the weekly service that matters, I believe. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong and somebody knows, please correct me in the comments, but I'm pretty sure. At the Chautauqua Institution Hall of Christ. That's interesting. I wonder if this was in New York State, because there's a Chautauqua County in Western New York, not too far from where I grew up. The Abrahamic Program for Young Adults, APYA, leads the service each Friday with full support from the institution's Department of Religion. Each summer, the department selects 4 college-age students to serve for the season as the face of interfaith dialogues at Chautauqua. 1 a liberal Jew, 1 liberal Christian, and 2 Muslims, a Sunni and a Shia, a male and a female. They don't say the genders of the Christian and Jew. At the Hall of Philosophy, prior to introducing various speakers, the Department of Religion director proudly invites a large audience, anywhere from like 1,000 to 2,000, and residents to join this Friday Jummah, ostensibly to show how people of all religions can celebrate together. We love each other, happy, happy, hold our hands and sing kumbaya and all that kind of garbage. In this instance, some 50 people attended, about 20 actually participated in the prayers, and about half of them non-Muslims. All willingly bowed and prostrated themselves according to Islamic tenets. Roughly 30 spectators sat, listened, and watched the ritual unfold. Text of prayers were handed to the entire audience. The Shia female asked participants to remove their shoes in that sacred space, which she called the Hall of the Prophet, despite its actual name, which was Hall of Christ. She didn't elucidate which prophet she meant, and this Apia, Sunni Muslim Omar, so that's the guy Muslim, led the prayers. He completed his undergrad at Zaytuna College. Never heard of it. Oh, I guess it's in California. The first Muslim university in the... Oh, it's a Muslim university. Oh, in the U.S. and plans to attend the Hartford Institute. Never heard of that one either. Before enrolling in the U.S. military as a Muslim chaplain. How wonderful. During prayers, Omar and a few other Muslims recited the phrase Allahu Akbar a few times. It is explained that God is greater than any of us. I'm surprised they actually explained that, because they always say, oh, it means God is great. But if you, the YouTuber community, I believe we've all encountered somebody who said, oh, no, it doesn't mean God is great. It means God is greater. I think David Wood did a video on that. I may have heard it some other places, but yeah. The event included Quranic chants in Arabic, duh. Between prostrations, participants followed Omar's lead, bowing to the floor and then kneeling, then repeating the ritual a few times. Omar served as imam, preaching the long sermon. Since nothing in the world is going in the right direction, he stressed we need to look in a different direction, be kind to others, to our neighbors, blah, 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 look inside ourselves, be happy, hold hands, sing kumbaya, yeah, whatever. Until 2010, he told the audience, he was a confused person, but now he feels good. He suggested that we could all turn around our lives. So he displayed Dawah. So I looked up what Dawah was. Watched a few different YouTube videos. It's basically the process, multiple stages, but it's the process of bringing people, if they're not Muslim, getting them to convert. If they're Muslim, getting to be more religious. And basically, it's the whole assembly line of trying to get people from infidel to very religious Muslim. And by very religious, they mean like ISIS. His sermon effectively served, this is what I found when I did research on this. His sermon effectively served as an invitation to Islam, albeit indirect. For now, the Chautauqua institution prohibits official invitations to Islam or other religions and requires all denominational leaders to sign statements that they may not proselytize, which is like try to convert people. Yet I wonder how long the Apia Muslims will restrain themselves about their real intentions, since Islam requires Muslims to invite all infidels to join them and revert. If you don't already know this, they call converts reverts because they believe that everyone is born a Muslim and that when they convert, they revert to what they already were. But yet, if you don't ever convert, it doesn't have the same stipulation to murder you. So I don't know. Or for you to die. Because if you ask them, they'll probably claim that it's God who's supposed to submit the judgment. But anyway, we know how that goes. Ariana Grande concerts, anyone? Then the female Shia Muslim young adult explained that during Jummah prayer, she would stand behind Omar, because, she's a woman and stuff. Oh, and she's a Shia. Because, as a Shia, she wouldn't have done so. But this was, because she's Sunni now, or she's with a Sunni guy. And she explained that this tradition prevents the men from getting looks at the women's booty, and people, laughed. If there were feminists among the audience, they were silent. Imagine if a conservative Christian said something similar about his religion. All hell would break loose. Muslims, however, get a free pass. Of course they do. The young Shia woman sang a melodic chant in Farsi, and then came the Q&A segment. The Sunni Omar said we had only 6 minutes, and whoever's writing this article raised their hand, whether I'm not sure if it's the woman or the guy that was cited at the very beginning of the article, raised their hand and received the microphone from the male Jewish Apia, the left-wing Jew, and calmly stated, I am a student of Islam, and smiled with pleasure. And then she says, not the Islam you are teaching here at Chautauqua, but the real Islam. Oops. Smile faded. As such, I learned that Surat al-Fatiha, verse 1:7, in effect vilifies Jews and Christians. Those who go astray are the Christians, and those who earned Allah's wrath are the Jews. The Muslims in the room kind of turned white, and this person continues. While the words Jews and Christians are not mentioned in the surah itself, from my studying, and I've actually been able to verify this is true. I found this a few different places, and then stumbled upon it later on and realized that it was also referring to the same verses. Studying Ibn Kathir, and by the way, Ibn or Bin, which is easy to remember for anybody who's Jewish. That means son of. Like in Jewish, Ben is the same thing. Like Yossi ben Yossi, except they don't do that. It's just that's what came to mind. Very, very popular Jewish name, Yossi, Joseph. But I'm train of thoughting, derailing again. Anyway, Ibn Kathir, so the son of Kathir, referred to them as Jews and Christians. Ibn Kathir quoted the words of Muhammad on this issue. It's Muhammad, not me, who defined that those who went astray are the Christians and those who earned God's wrath are Jews. I said every devout Muslim knows exactly to whom he refers when he recites that Surat al-Fatiha. In essence, I concluded Muslims at the Chautauqua Jummah prayers invite Jews and Christians to join them. Non-Muslim participants have no idea that they essentially denigrate themselves during the Jummah prayers. I pointed at Omar and the other Muslims and stated that their prayers amounted to Dawah. Yes, Dawah, I repeated. And I find it very sad that the Chautauqua administration allows that to take place. Apparently, caught the glance of this Omar and his Muslim colleagues by total surprise. Love it! I love when people do stuff like this. Omar muttered several statements in reply, which made little sense to this person, of course. He said it was out of context and cited this and that Muslim scholar on the Surat Fatiha. Yeah. They always do that. He quickly ran out of explanations. To my utter astonishment, he stated, "But what this lady was saying is correct." Yes, it is correct! Omar kept talking. By then, however, I had reached a sort of circuit overload. It was too much for me to continue to take. I boldly expressed my dismay and told the presenters, "What you're doing here is taqiyya," as this person left the room. Taqiyya, if you don't know, which I think most of my subscribers are going to know what taqiyya is, but taqiyya is basically lying. I mean, there's more to it than that. There's 4 types of lying, but that's kind of the most popular type, and often they kind of throw all of them under that category because that's the type people are most likely to know. Dr. Duri concludes that devout Muslims are daily declaring before Allah that Christians have gone astray and Jews are objects of divine wrath must be considered a matter of central importance for interfaith relations. This is all the more so because the interpretations of verse 7, which relates it to Christians and Jews, is soundly based upon the words of Muhammad himself. As al-Fatiha is the daily worship of it's the daily worship of Muslims. Like they said at the beginning of this, that they say this 5,000 times a year. Wow, that's a lot. I think this is like 20 sometimes a day. Yeah. And represents the very essence of Islam itself. The meaning of these words cannot be ignored or glossed over. Henceforth, to prove the effectiveness of Islamic Dawah and its advancement, add this anecdote to your arsenal. The left gleefully enables and supports these deceptive and quite dangerous Dawah practices through interfaith dialogues. I felt like this was a really important teaching moment for this article, and that's why I stashed it away. I think this happened mid-August, I guess, and I didn't really open my channel because I was a commenter prior to that, but if you count my first videos as when I opened my channel, it was early August. So when I found this article, I must have already had a channel, but still, I stashed it away, and eventually, here I am, making a video on it. So, yeah, you're sitting here, it's important to remember what team you're on, or maybe just that you don't want to be on any team. So, you want to be careful to do your research and be on top of your game. Thanks for stopping by my channel. I will see you all next time.